Hello and welcome. My name is Michael Witch and I'm here for LMC Media. But more importantly, I'm here for At Home on the Sound. And joining me on the program are Marnie Foster Marks and Leslie Molinoff. And Marnie, you are the 2020 Gala honoree this year. And Leslie, you're being paid a special tribute as a volunteer, and you've been involved. You were among the group that founded At Home on the Sound. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
For people who don't know too much about At Home, I can tell you that At Home is a grassroots and nonprofit membership organization. Your mission is to provide services and programs to assure that older adults in the Larchmont, the Mamaroneck, and Rhinebeck community can remain living in their own homes safely and confidently for as long as possible. Leslie, does that sum it up?
That's it in a nutshell. We have about 250 members. Mm-hmm. And as you said, we offer programs and services. The most important service that I think we offer is transportation to doctor's appointments, supermarkets, beauty parlors, if they don't call them that anymore, salons, etc. But we also have a myriad of social programs. We offer mahjong and canasta and lectures and age-appropriate groups that get together off-site to discuss issues in a particular range of topics. And we offer, I think, 17 to 20 programs a month under normal circumstances. Right now, of course, things are a little different. But yeah, we have a very vibrant selection of activities for our members.
And all the activities are really member driven.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, there's, French discussion group, Italian discussion, German, there's, such a wealth of knowledge and interest in the members. And, people are coming up with, new activities.
Yeah. Marnie, as the honoree, well, you would have been recognized at the gala, but what happened to the gala?
Well, it had to be canceled because of the pandemic that we're in. It was supposed to be on April 30th.
But it's being done in a different way this year, right? I mean, I'm a donor, so I just got my invitation.
Oh, good.
And there's a beautiful description inside, along with all the people that help support At Home. Well, so you're being honored because of your special contribution that you've made in the field of graphic design.
Yes, it's because it was our 10th anniversary, we were really thinking it should be somebody who's really been with the organization. Many times we highlight someone who contributes a lot to the community at large and and has been helpful. But we thought because of the 10th anniversary, it should be somebody who'd really been there from the beginning. And it turns out I was one of them.
Right.
So,
not to mention her enormous contribution to the organization.
So it started as a logo, I imagine?
So it started with a logo. And then, and an invitation, a friend raiser, and then a brochure, it just, and the more we do, the more we need to do, of course.
Yes.
It's something that's always been sort of an avocation, and I love to see ideas become tangible in a way that you can look at something and get a feeling for what it is.
You've been on their with the organization for a long time.
Yeah, well, since 10 years.
And you're a volunteer.
Yes, well, the entire organization, except for 2 people, are volunteers. They're, it's really uncanny how many volunteers work so many hours for the organization, because people feel very passionately about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's for all of our futures.
Mm-hmm. Leslie, can you talk a little bit about the different types of volunteers?
Sure. Well, as Marnie started to say, we have an enormous number of programs that we run and that are run by volunteers. We have an over 80 discussion group. We have a current events discussion group. We have a men's group. We have all these various clubs, and the facilitators of all of those are volunteers. Plus, we have a core group of drivers that run our transportation program. There are roughly 80 people who drive for the organization. And when I say that, what I mean is that each member is entitled to several rides per week to do essential chores. And it's a one-on-one experience. The driver only takes the one member, and it's a very rewarding experience. Since I'm a driver, I know personally that it's an opportunity to get to know people in your community, and you develop relationships with the people that you're taking to appointments. And it's a very important service in a suburban community where there isn't a lot of public transportation, but it's also an incredibly heartwarming experience for both the driver and the rider. As I said, we have 80 drivers. We probably offer over 200 rides a month, and thousands of miles are driven a year.
Yeah, I wish I had the brochure that says, you know, how many miles.
Oh, right. Marnie developed that brochure. I'd just like to get back to Marnie for a second, if I may, about how important she's been to the organization. Every piece of printed material that comes out of our office that has any kind of need for any kind of graphics comes from Marnie. And not only is she so wonderful at devoting her time and her expertise, but she has an enormous creativity and sensitivity that is rivaled by few others. Really, I don't say that because she's here. I say that because it's true. And we've worked very closely, she and I, over the last 10 years, and it's been just a marvelous experience.
Well, it's very funny because Leslie and I worked, the first time we worked was for the invitation for the first gala. Right. And we were sitting here in my dining room working on the invitation, right?
Right, and we've done every gala since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can people get involved with At Home? I don't mean that. Well, they could join At Home, but getting involved as a volunteer, for instance, how does that happen?
It couldn't be easier. You call our office and you talk to Elaine Weingarten, our executive director, and you say, I want to help, and she will explain the myriad of possibilities. There's work in the office, administrative work. There's help with the annual gala. There's help with all of the mailings that we do. There is the facilitation of these programs that I mentioned. We have a wonderful lecture program that I think a lot of people in the community are aware of because it's open to the community, not just members. And we have a wonderful woman, Ellie Fredston, who's been running that program, 2 lectures a week for 10 years. And the speakers are all voluntary. It runs the gamut from cultural topics to well-being topics, healthcare topics, and they're incredible. And we get, as I said, we get not only our members to go, but many people from the community. It's not unusual for us to have 60 people at a lecture. So to get involved, you simply call our office, 899-3150, a little plug for the organization, and talk to Elaine, and she will get you going. And we have another person who's in charge of placing all the volunteers and kind of facilitating their activities, and her name is Pat Hashey, and she's been doing it right from the beginning. So Pat oversees the volunteers and places them, etc.
I know that there are health advocates that at Home has. Marnie, could you talk about the health advocates and what they do?
Yes, actually, our president right now is one of our major health advocates. They accompany people to their medical appointments. Because, aside from just driving, you can also get someone to go with you, because to take notes and ask questions and make sure that everything's being communicated well, because people are stressed out a lot of times when they go to a doctor and they can't think or remember, and having that other person there is really invaluable.
And they training for that. It's not just somebody who's in the car with you. These health advocates go through a training process, a formal training process.
Mm-hmm. Leslie, I know that there are different levels of membership. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We have a full membership, which entitles the person to all of our services as well as the programs. So that means that they get the transportation and other services that we provide. There's an associate membership, which entitles the individual to participate in all of the programs, but not the driving or the rides and other services. And there are a large segment of our membership who really aren't at the stage yet where they need that kind of support in driving, but they want the social aspect. We are really a community within a community. We have built a far-ranging family of community residents, businesses, volunteers. I would say that we have a membership of 250, but we're probably more or an organization of around 1,000 if you include everybody, and people know each other. So to become an associate member means that you have the opportunity to participate in the social programs. You can do our Out and About program, which is to go to theater or other special events. You can go to our Dine About program, which is having a local restaurant experience with other members. And so it all helps to build friendships and to stave off isolation, loneliness, and just to have fun.
And in this time of the pandemic, you've had to, I'm sure, adapt some of these programs.
Yes, absolutely. Some of them are continuing online. Mm-hmm. Some of our programs. Some of them had to be suspended, the ones that require in-person gathering. But as I said, more and more of those programs that can be conducted online are being done so. And obviously, as soon as we are in a position to, we'll get back to seeing each other in person, hugging, shaking hands, whatever else contact that we want to have with each other. But right now, obviously, it has to be somewhat limited.
Marnie, let me ask you also about something else you're involved in, not just at home, but I heard you're an a cappella singer?
Yes. Yes, I'm a member of the Soundettes, which is an a cappella group in this area that's been going on for over 60 years. We're actually trying to get Leslie to join because she's a lovely singer, but she's busy.
Does your singing contribute to the At Home on the Sound experience as well?
So the Soundettes, our mission sort of, we go to a different nursing home or senior facility in some sort every week. Yes. when we could do that. We're challenged.
But you've also performed for At Home on the Sound on a couple of occasions. Our holiday party one year. Yeah.
Oh, good. And you're also in an improv group, Marnie.
Yes, dance improv.
Wow, creativity runs through everything.
Yeah, my career before I retired was as an expressive arts therapist, which is using music, dance, and art as part of psychotherapy. And I worked with emotionally disturbed teenagers.
Uh-huh. Very important work and very interesting. And Leslie, do you want to talk about anything else regarding the at-home gala?
Well, as you mentioned, Marnie, we had to cancel it, obviously, and that was a very big disappointment, not just to us as the people who were being acknowledged at the event, but to the entire community, because our gala is sold out every year. We usually have about 275 to 300 people who come, and it's a wonderful evening of camaraderie, a great dinner, and a raffle. And this year, since we are not doing the gala in person, we've sent out this stay-at-home invitation, stay at home on the sound, which was Marnie's idea, actually, the slogan. And in that invitation, we've included raffle tickets. So the raffle is ongoing, and it can be accessed through the website, as well as if you're a friend of At Home on the Sounds and you've received one of these snail mail invitations. And we have some wonderful items on there. 10 bottles of wine is one, and an iPad is another, and there's a piece of jewelry that was donated by Zaltis Jewelry in Mamaroneck. So people should check it out, because it's a way of not only supporting our organization, but getting some goodies for your donation. So yeah, so it was really sad to have to cancel, but obviously every big gathering had to be canceled under the circumstances. But we're rallying, we're doing what we can, we're servicing our members during the pandemic by continuing to bring them their groceries if they need, or their medications. And we have a wonderful woman who is one of our part-time employees named Jelana Van Meter, who communicates every week with a bulletin to members to tell them what's available online to keep yourself busy and have fun while you're at home. And we call our members twice a week during the pandemic to make sure everything's okay. So we're keeping that connection and making sure that they're safe and they're not isolated.
You know, as I look through my brochure here, I noticed that there are a lot of sponsors. And how did they react when the gala had to be canceled?
Well, that's very interesting. First of all, the sponsors are a lot of a mix of businesses and community residents who understand the mission of At Home on the Sound and value that mission and are passionate about helping their neighbors. And so the business sponsors have many of whom have been with us many years. When I contacted them to advise them that the gala was being canceled, they immediately said, well, we'll definitely continue to support you and we'll honor the pledges that we made, no questions asked, which was extremely heartwarming to hear. And of course the individuals as well. But I was mostly concerned about the businesses, since they were so initially hit so hard by this shutdown that we've been in. But the sponsors are part of a larger concept of inclusion that I think Marnie could speak to very beautifully. So would you like to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, the whole purpose of At Home on the Sound, and which is sort of a groundbreaking organization, it's a concept called aging in place. And there's going to be much more of this as, you know, the baby boom generation starts aging more. But right now we're really on the forefront of that, of keeping people integrated with the community. And, you know, our sponsors and our community associates that are the local businesses are really a part of that. And I'll give a plug to Leslie, because she has really cultivated these relationships with the sponsors. And they have remained really loyal, even though they're being very heavily hit by this pandemic.
Well, let me thank you both for being on LMC, and I congratulate you both. Leslie Molinoff, special tribute, and Marnie Foster Marks, the honoree of the year. I'm Michael Witch, and thank you for watching.